Key benefits of SaaS, a lot of things we've already covered. So unlocking new customer segments, so lower customer adoption costs through SaaS. Traditionally, you've got lower operating costs. You reduce your technical requirements, and it's a lower cost to serve your customers. And on average, 75% will basically have a reduced installation time. Reduce complexity and lower your customer TCO. So again, that's a huge thing as part of the entire cloud migration strategy for customers. They're going to be looking at Azure as a way of reducing their complexity and reducing their costs by obviously again getting that economies of scale of using something like Azure. So obviously they want you to play in the same area as that. They don't want to have an application that isn't going to go against the grain of what they're trying to achieve through their own cloud strategy. So again, helping them to reduce upfront infrastructure costs, eliminate ongoing customer support costs. So some of you will be installing your application on your customers' environments. Key thing there is obviously you want to be able to say that we've got a modernized infrastructure as code environment on the public cloud for you to use that fits into your strategy, Mr. Customer. Integrate new cloud services. So again, a key benefit of Azure is everybody is now mapping to it. Everybody is looking to develop their applications within Azure. That will really help with integrating cloud services together. Everybody's on the same base of understanding, on the same base of technology, and it makes things a lot easier in terms of portability. And then the AI piece, again, huge, leverage aggregated data. So being able to use the out of the box standard tooling that Azure provides to really give you that AI. And that's on a twofold. That's the requirements for your customers to really understand more about what they're doing and how they're using your applications and what they can improve on, but also for yourselves to be able to get some understanding around customer behaviors, around performance behaviors, and really help you guys then to drive more cost reduction, potentially performance enhancements, and really give more ROI to your customers and then more ROI to yourselves. Speed of time to market, we've already covered. So really 33% who move to the public cloud see an improvement in time to market. Iterate faster using pilots, so reduction in your development cycles. Again, recurring revenue, so 3 to 5 years will find that they pay themselves back after that initial investment, essentially. And also the key benefit there is recurring revenue stay with you over the longer term, providing you don't churn too much. And then aligning the pricing to customer success, again, being able to be really price competitive within the marketplace as part of your SaaS offering. And how does Azure fit in with this? Well, obviously Azure helps with recurring revenues. Later on, I'm going to be talking to around the Azure Marketplace, which is a key tool for you guys to be able to leverage as part of your selling experience. Obviously, security and governance is a huge Azure benefit. Microsoft spends $1 billion per year on security and governance measures, and really that can filter down through to your customers' trust in you as an application provider and the infrastructure you provide around that. Access new markets. So Azure is in 57 regions now around the globe. That's more than anybody else in the public cloud. Again, the key thing there is that you can access new markets, you can entertain new opportunities. Who say to you, I'm in wherever it might be, Australia, India, wherever, and you can, and we can spin up an environment within that particular region nice and easily. Attract more customers. We've gone through that quite a lot. But improve your service satisfaction, again, making sure that you're really ingrained into your customers' cloud strategies and their innovation strategies, but also improving the performance of your application for the long term. Optimize your infrastructure to save costs and performance. It should be. And again, these are all things that Microsoft heavily invest in. And then faster development cycles. Again, being able to concentrate on what you guys do best. So software development, for example. And other ways that you want to drive your application forward, and potentially leaving that infrastructure to Microsoft as experts, but also expert partners such as ourselves to be able to help you drive that speed and that growth. And then finally, just to cover off sort of the general benefits to Azure, because I know we're a bit pushed for time. Obviously, everyone understands the CapEx to OpEx transition, but again, that's much easier to to essentially be able to map out your customer acquisition costs. So being able to actually see on a monthly basis, what is it my average costs for each customer of delivery per 100 customers on a monthly basis, and then looking at your pricing and then being able to easily see what your margins are is a much easier way of doing things, rather than having to look at sweating out assets and all those types of calculations. So it's a really good tool for making sure that you're profitable. Ability of technology. So again, lots of people are moving to Azure, fast adaptation to market trends. You're able to leverage Microsoft's research and development to be able to drive your own R&D, and then scalability. Obviously, that's not something that you can do if you've got your own private cloud or on an install base for customers. You can increase and decrease your workload to suit your business needs. And then again, this sort of additional point around reallocating internal resource. So if you don't have people having to spend so much time on your infrastructure, you're able to reallocate that resource to other projects, speed up development cycles, all those types of things that we can obviously help with as well. So that's just a whistle-stop tour of Azure and the real opportunity to you guys of obviously moving to Azure, or moving your application to Azure, I should say. It sounds from the introductions that a lot of you are already on that journey already, and obviously Sean will be able to run through how you make that reality in the next section. If there's any questions on any of this data or anything at all, then just let me know, and obviously we can give the slides to you afterwards. So yeah, do you have any questions at all before I pass back to Sean?
I'm sold, buddy.
You're sold?
I'm sold.
That's good. At least one person sold.
It's all very clear. All very clear indeed.
Perfect. So
actually,
away,
if I could, sorry, if I can just throw in. Sorry. So being Australian based, how do you guys go about picking up new clients and business in regions outside of UK and South Africa?
So in the can be found by anybody across a series of our offers, so whether that's our managed service, our application development services, whether it's migration services, whatever it might be, those are all listed in there. They're not regionalized, so we can have anybody really contact us around Azure and how we can potentially help them. What it does mean is that potentially they don't go through our CSP, which is the cloud solution provider, which is basically just billing, so they wouldn't bill through us necessarily. But things like partner admin link is how we would then manage those particular customers. But yeah, it's the same sort of messaging as it would be for you, that the Azure Marketplace, for example, helps you to really sort of globalize your organization, and then obviously be able to actually deliver your application across multiple regions. So we leverage that quite heavily and leverage our relationship with Microsoft to deliver that. And as part of our ISV offerings, we help our ISV partners and application customers to be able to do the same.
Okay, thanks.
I think it's more important in the ISV market. You know, if we're dealing with businesses and that are traditionally consumers of a lot of the Microsoft services and are moving server estates and infrastructure to Azure, they're kind of geographically bound unless they have branch offices elsewhere. But ISV market, it's a global marketplace at this point. You need to be able to sell your software to anyone regardless of geographic restrictions. So having that global marketplace is a really important step.
Yeah, and one thing I would add with Azure, the beauty behind it is the regionalized offerings take care of things like governance and legal, for example, data sovereignty and those elements for you. So it's a much easier way to enter new regions and new markets.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's obviously important. We're in the funds management area, so a lot of our clients would get very touchy about the data physically being located outside of the country.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right then. So that's why we should go to Azure.